Hey everyone, this is Matt.
And I'm Angelica.
And this is Level Up Reviews with a great movie review. We just watched Geostorm. Are you gonna put one in each one?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my own. It's gonna be super cool. It's gonna be like yours is gonna be like the ghetto black one, and mine's gonna be like. Woo!
I hope it's not black because my shirt's black. That would mess it up, and some of the letters won't work.
I don't know what to talk about, but it's gonna be awesome.
So, here's what we're gonna do for the story. We're going to, for this review, we're going to give a quick little summary of the movie, and then we're going to give our grade after watching it. After that, we are going to go into some spoiler talk, so you'll see some something that says spoiler up here during that time.
Me, not him.
So, do you want to go ahead and do the summary?
Yes, I will. So, already forgetting what I'm gonna say.
Do you want me to do the summary?
No, I got it. So the nation is having difficulties with climates and all that, so the whole world comes together to build a satellite net around the earth to help regulate the climates. Something goes wrong, so they bring up, I believe his name is Jake, to the National Space Station to help figure out what's going on with the systems. So they have to figure out who's doing this or what's doing this, what's happening, and that's basically the whole movie. And it eventually leads up to the big catastrophic geostorm. So he's got to figure out who's doing this and how to destroy what's happening before it goes super global and they can't stop it at all.
So, I'm going to give my grade, and then she can give her grade, and we'll kind of average them out, or if she agrees with me, then we'll just say that. I think there was some story plot issues, which will go more in the stories or the spoilers, but I actually did enjoy this movie. But it's not one that I would recommend for everyone to go see, because of stuff that you'll hear later if you watch the spoiler side. But anyway, my personal grade, I think it should be about a 3 out of 5 stars.
I would say maybe a 4 out of 5, just because, in my opinion, it's a good movie to watch. Like, I probably would watch it maybe once or twice again just to watch it again. But it's not a movie I would like to continuously watch over and over again. So, but I would probably recommend it to a friend. Say, hey, if you want to watch this movie, go watch it.
So average out about 3.5 out of 5 stars. So there's our grades. Now we're gonna go to spoilers. Spoilers, wherever it's gonna be at.
What if I don't even put spoilers above you? You're just pointing to random shit.
That'd be funny.
I'm gonna
So
do
anyway,
that now.
I'm going to tell you right now, this movie is billed and marketed as a disaster movie. When you watch the trailer, and when I first saw the trailer, I instantly thought The Day After Tomorrow, Armageddon, all the San Andreas, all these disaster movies where it's just going to be a whole movie of them trying to escape these disasters. Completely freaking wrong. This movie is a political conspiracy movie. That's it. There is some disasters, but barely any in this movie.
Yes. Yeah, it was very rushed. It's only an hour and 40 minutes. If they gave it at least 30 to maybe 40 more minutes, this movie would actually be a higher grade for us. Like, we would actually want to go watch it again. Like, it's something we would go want to watch. If you added just 30 to 40 minutes, that's it. But everything else was super rushed. It was crazy how long crazy how rushed, and none of the characters actually developed.
The system of net around the whole world is called the Dutch Boy. That's the nickname they gave it. Okay, so here's the issue. Beginning of the movie. Now this is spoiler talk. So beginning of the movie, you see Gerald Butler's character. He's the one who created it. He walks into a courtroom. They kind of explains shortly about it. Like, a little girl in the background is explaining about the climate stuff and that they built this. But you see him walk into a courtroom. He mouths off and gets fired. And then it's all of a sudden 3 years later. You never see him actually work on the system. You never see them implement it really. It's just, look, it's there. That's it. If they would have taken 30 minutes in that beginning movie and you saw him work with his crew, because he actually passionately defended this crew that he worked with, because they wanted to come in, the government wanted to come in and fire them. He passionately defended them.
Yeah.
But you don't get that kind of connections because they don't show them. And so if they would have spent 30 minutes, and I'm just going to say this and I'll bring it back to her, but if they would have given him 30 minutes in the beginning of this movie and they actually showed them creating the system, creating the satellites, working with the crew, the bonds and everything, that would have been a character development that would have worked for this movie and it would have been 10 times better.
I definitely agree with that because I didn't really care what happened to his character. All I knew is he had to go up. He wanted to come back for his daughter. His daughter was very worried. Like it's the typical like daughter come home dad type situation. It's that type of like Armageddon. Like she said, come back home. Like I need you to come back home. And like that's how I felt throughout this movie. Like it felt like Armageddon the whole time, except she was a lot smaller.
This felt like a cheap version of Armageddon because the issue is with Armageddon, and we're reminding of. We keep going back to Armageddon because of the connections and everything in that movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing with Armageddon. Armageddon in the beginning, Bruce Willis and his daughter, connection. First 10 minutes, they're fighting over a boy, and they're arguing, but you have that connection, the battle between them, and it continues throughout all the movies. He brings her to NASA with him because he says he never hides anything from her. You get that bond. This movie, it was like, look, he has a daughter, now she's going to be missing him. And he's gone away. Up there.
Yeah.
That was it. And you're supposed to like feel for this girl who's like, fearing for her dad. No, you don't feel anything. You're just like, okay, cool, bye. There was no connections. It was just, look, he's here, bye. I mean, the movie is so rushed.
Yeah.
Oh, it drives me nuts.
Yeah, like he gets up to the station and he's all like, "Oh, do you hear that? That should be fixed. Oh, do you hear that? That should be fixed." And then she's just like,
thank you for bringing that up.
A guy just died. What are you complaining about?" And he's just like, "Oh yeah, sorry." And then they go like, and they continue on. We're just like, so we're not gonna try and fix something. We're not gonna like do anything. Like he's been off this ship for 3 years and he's all like, "Oh, I left it perfect." And then all of a sudden he's just like, everything's ruined.
There's also a disconnect between him and his brother, who his brother he was working with and also took over the project for him and then fired him in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
But you don't feel that bond between him and his brother. Like maybe at the end there was a slight moment where you're like, oh, they're brothers. But other than that, you don't really feel the brotherly bond because they both hate each other the whole movie.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we can just keep going on and on. I think the one thing I mentioned to her was right after the movie, okay, there's a scene where you think, okay, Jake is up in the space station, it's going to blow up, he's going to die, he's actually sacrificing himself to stop the Geostorm, and it was supposed to be an Armageddon moment, and that was instantly what I thought of, I was thinking Bruce Willis holding that trigger, and he's going to sacrifice himself to blow up that asteroid to save Earth. This is the same scenario, but the problem is you didn't give a damn if that dude died. He had a last moment with his brother on a video screen, and then he walks away, and you're like, okay, he's going to go sacrifice himself. That's fantastic. Goodbye.
Yeah.
There was no connection. You're supposed to feel for that. You're supposed to be like, no, don't do it. You're going to survive. But I could care less.
I felt like he was going to live regardless, so...
It was...
I felt like if he was sacrificing himself, he wasn't really going to do it. Because he would have found a way to get off and live. Which he did. So, spoiler about that. He lives.
I know this is spoiler talk, but I'm not going to give away what is really going on.
Oh, yeah, we're not going to tell you what's happening at all.
And I know this really sounds negative, but we really did actually like the movie. It's just we found so many plot holes in it, so many issues with it. But it was actually a good movie, and it's worth going to see. I mean, we watched it in IMAX, and it's worth seeing it in that because it is pretty epic, but there's just not enough of the global storms to consider it a disaster movie. It really is a political conspiracy movie, and if you watch the movie, you'll understand where I'm coming from with that.
Yeah.
So.
And I feel like the whole plotline of how it happened, who specifically did it or what's happening going on, I feel like that was, for me personally, I felt like, oh, I didn't think it was this person. Oh, I thought this, like, they made you think it was this person, and then you're just like, oh, no, it's really this person. Like, it kind of got me, but, like, I wasn't, like...
It was too obvious, honestly.
It was sometimes, to him personally, I don't know, maybe I'm just not looking hard enough or something.
It was... they were pretty much handing you it. But yeah, I know, I see your point, because they were throwing this person and that person at you.
Oh yeah, they were just like,
and,
this is the person. Oh no, this is the person. No, 100% this is the person.
But either
and then
way,
they show you, and it's like, what?
Either way, it is actually a pretty decent movie. It's just there are some issues with the story. If you want to go see a good movie where it's, some action, explosions and stuff, yeah, go see it. It's gonna be okay. But if you're actually wanting some story development and stuff, no, don't waste your time. Don't waste your money.
No, and you barely even see any of the storms. Like the most you see is like at the very end.
Yeah.
And that's like maybe like.
But you don't even really. I mean,
it's like 3 cities. You see three cities, and that's about it.
Some lightning. And by the way, Orlando at the end looked nothing like Orlando, and we live close to there, so I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, no, not even like any of the Florida stuff. Nothing. It looks nothing like it.
Yeah. So.
Don't even say it's from here if you're not gonna look like it's from here. We know what it looks like. It's not it.
Well, guys, this was our Geostorm review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know what you guys thought. If you guys saw the movie, let us know down below. Don't forget, there's a like and subscribe button down there.
Like and subscribe.
So, anyway, we'll see you guys later.
them.
And as always, don't forget to keep leveling up.